Besides the autopilot, one piece of equipment that makes shorthanded sailing easier and more enjoyable is my Lazy Cradle. Controlling a mainsail when you lower it can be a challenge even with full crews, but when shorthanded, it can be a bigger problem. However, with my Lazy Cradle, that problem goes away. A lazy cradle is a combination of sail cover and lazy jacks, where the sail cover is attached to the top of the boom and goes under the mainsail, while the upper edges are raised in place with the boat's lazy jacks. The lazy jacks guide the sail down into the cover. There are full-length round battens on each side of the zipper. The battens help hold the cover open when the sail is lowered. The battens give the sail cover its clean shape, and the lazy jacks dead end around the battens to transmit the supporting load across the whole length of the cover. With the Lazy Cradle, I can literally drop the mainsail into the cover faster than a furling main can be rolled into a mast or boom. I just release the halyard and gravity does the rest. Coming into a harbor is no problem. Just drop the sail and it is out of the way without the need to flake or furl. With the sail in the cover, you can concentrate on the channel and the traffic without being blinded by folds of sailcloth. Then, when I'm at anchor, I can zip the cover over the sail and then zip the front piece that goes around the front of the mast, and the sail is protected from the sun's harmful UV rays. Having the Lazy Cradle is the only way I can tame my monster mainsail when sailing single or short-handed. My main is 56.5 feet on the luff and 20 feet on the boom, which makes it 565 square feet. The sail weighs 112 pounds and is made of hydronet radial, which is very stiff. I have such a heavy sail because I am doing a lot of offshore passage making. The weight and stiffness of the cloth makes it hard to manually flake. Those factors led me to install the Lazy Cradle on my boat before taking off on my cruising adventures. The other reason for the Lazy Cradle is that standard sail covers are very hard to put on when the boat has lazy jacks. I have a few tips on how to make the system work like greased lightning. First, my mainsail has ball bearing slider cars, which allows gravity to do the work smoothly. A Tides Marine strong track would work well too. Second, I replaced the lazy jack lines that came with the Lazy Cradle with 3/16-inch Dyneema because they are much stronger, lighter, and thinner than the standard polyester lines. The Dyneema lines are also less windage when sailing. Proper adjustment of the lazy jacks is critical. Under sail, they have to be loosened to prevent them from distorting the sail shape. Before dropping, they have to be tightened so that the cover can be zipped easily. If the lazy jacks are too loose, the back of the cover splays open, making it hard to start the zipper. Also, if they are loose, the cover will be too low to zip over the headboard of the mainsail. In order to reset them properly, make sure you have a mark when they are tensioned. Another tip is to get the recirculating zipper line outside the cover before dropping the sail. If you forget to do this, the sail will fall on top of the line and you'll have to free it before the cover can be zipped. Not only is the sail on top of the line, but somehow the line always gets tangled with the buckles of the integral sail ties and straps used for securing the cover to the side of the boom when sailing, which is an option. It is recommended to roll and secure the cover to this boom on long ocean passages or when you are racing. Having the cover rolled next to the boom is more aerodynamic and reduces wear from the cover bouncing around for hours at a time. However, when sailing shorter passages, I leave the cover up. Also, when putting in a reef, make sure your Lazy Cradle is clear before tightening the reef outhaul. One time at sea, when we reefed in a hurry, we didn't notice the reef line had gotten wrapped around the aft end of the cradle. While trapped, the long batten ripped through the end of its pocket. Luckily, we noticed it before the batten fell overboard. For most of the sailing I do, I leave the cover up so that I can drop the sail at a moment's notice. If the wind dies and the sail starts slatting, I drop the sail myself without having to get help from the off watch. The two things I have to remember to do before dropping the sail is to tighten the lazy jacks and get the zipper line out of the cover. The Lazy Cradle is absolutely the easiest way to drop and cover a mainsail for short-handed sailors.